Человек, это гага, вигай мама, я гага. Ети. Ака, блива, мама и вигай кука. Ети.
Всем привет! I'm glad to see you on my channel, and it's been quite a while, and today I wanted to talk with you about one topic that has bothering me for some time, and it's hate. Specifically hate online, but offline too, since I'm Russian and I've been facing offline hate also. If you do something online, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, you will face some kind of hate, no matter what you do, how you do it, and more active you become, more you post, more people see your content, you will face hate. And even if we're not talking about bloggers, just in general, when you do something actively, you face hate and criticism from people around you. So I wanted to talk about this specifically in the context of being a highly sensitive person. If you don't know what high sensitivity means, well, I think it's kind of obvious from the name, but there is a whole study about it and the book about it. If you're interested, I can make a separate video on this topic. I don't know if you're interested. But basically, it's the person who is highly sensitive, who experience stronger emotions and feelings, who became easily emotional about anything, who in general are more sensitive physically and emotionally. It's easy to make them cry, it's easy to make them laugh. So you can imagine if you're very sensitive, like literally I can cry over any little thing. If it's cute or if it's sad, just I cry right away. I cry almost on every single book, movie, like I'm very, very emotional. And when it comes to hate, you can imagine how much it can upset me. Just the random comment from anybody about something that I created, or about me, the way I speak, the way I do something, any little hate, and I can be upset for a day or for a week or like, I don't know, for a month if it's been a significant amount of hate. And I can think about it and I can fall asleep and I can think about it while I'm sleeping. Just in general, hate bothers me a lot, and criticism and just any kind of aggressiveness. Offline, if I talk to people and they're not friendly, I get upset about it. Or even unsolicited advice, I get quite emotional about these ones too, because I feel like somebody crossed my boundaries and I just get, just emotional about it. So when it comes to hate, like let's say online, I've been very thoughtful about my own feelings. I've been trying to make a system that works for me when it comes to hate, so I would not feel hurt or upset every time I face it, because it's just impossible to work online, to make videos on YouTube and post something on Instagram and worry about every single hateful comment that you receive. So I made some rules and systems that work for me. I don't even know if they are good to do that, or if it's, just ignoring the problem and all of that. I don't know, but this works for me. So the first thing I do, I ignore and avoid all the hate that I can get. It's kind of similar to horror movies in my life. I've never watched any horror movie, like literally any, because I know that they will just be too overwhelming for me. I'll get too scared, too upset, too emotional, and I'll have nightmares after this horror movie for a very long period of time. I'll think about it. I even don't read news usually, because every time I read something that is, like news usually post horrible stuff, just crazy things happening in the world. And if I read that, I'll be just overthinking for years about these specific news that can affected my emotions more than others. So I'm avoiding hate. I usually don't read YouTube comments after several hours. So I read them for the first couple hours, for the first maybe 3, 4, 5 hours. And usually during that time, people who watch my videos are mostly my subscribers who like my content, who got the notification, or who just saw that I posted something and watched right away. So mostly it's people who watch my videos all the time, and usually they leave pretty kind comments. Even if I did something wrong, even if I said something that they didn't like, they are usually very kind because in general they like my content. So, and I make most of my videos for these people who like my content, so I'm the most interested in receiving comments from them first. And then I stop reading comments at all, because after the video gets all of these views from my main audience, then it goes to other people who haven't seen it, who haven't seen any of my videos before, who are not subscribed, and then it might get pretty, let's say I don't face much hate, but from time to time it happens, and I don't read this stuff. I've read comments for a couple hours and then I stop. I started doing that since one of my first videos went viral on YouTube, and I started to receiving so many comments under it that I couldn't even physically read all of them. And then I started noticing that the more views it gets, the more aggressive comments become, because just random people see it and comment whatever they want. Some people want to hurt my feelings, some people don't care and they just write what they think. So after this video, I stopped trying to read all the comments. It's impossible and it does not help my mental health, my emotional system, so I just stop and I'm avoiding them. Next thing I'm doing is kind of setting boundaries. So every time I receive hate in DMs or comments, I block these people. I know that some bloggers say that it's not good to block anybody, but I don't want to see people who write hateful comments in my audience. I don't think they bring any value to this kind of community of people, because quite often I see that somebody left a hateful comment and then people who are subscribed to my channel, who like my content, start worrying about my feelings about this comment, and they answer, and the whole discussion gets here, and other people get upset who like my content and they start to argue with this person. I don't need all of that. I don't want to see this hate that comes from nowhere, especially if I don't agree with it, if it's very personal, just somebody didn't like something and they decided to waste their time to hurt my feelings. I don't want to see them. I just block people, especially if they send me DMs about something they don't like about me. I'm just blocking them right away, and I don't feel sad about that. I know some people feel kind of guilty for doing that, feel sad, feel like they can't do that, but well, it's my page, it's my Instagram page, it's my YouTube account, and if I don't like somebody there, I can block them because they are not respecting me enough, just wasting my time for bad feelings. Also, I wanted to talk about unsolicited advice. I get them all the time, and most of people who do that, they don't do that intentionally. They just want to advise something because they care about me, and I understand that. And I try to not connect bad feelings with this advice. I always answer thank you. Sometimes advice can be good, sometimes it can be bad, sometimes it's just out of place and does not affect anything in my life at all. But in my head, I just, I try not to take them too personally, because I take this advice very personally, usually, especially offline. If somebody comes to me and say, Vika, you are doing this wrong, you should do this instead, I get it very personally and I become very emotional about it. So on the internet, I just try to blur everything kind of around me and save my feelings and save my emotions, and think every time I think this person didn't mean anything bad, they wanted to help me, thank them very much, and just do your thing. And here's the very big difference between hate and unsolicited advice and criticism. These three are very different. Every time I receive kind of a comment that hurts my feelings, I start to analyze it and think, if it's just hate, I delete it right away, I block it, I just ignore it. If it's unsolicited advice, I think that the person wanted only good for me, and I thank them, but I don't take it personally. And if it's criticism, I try to analyze why there is that kind of criticism. Sometimes people can criticize the way I film. They can say that the video was not very interesting, or I did something wrong, or maybe the audio was not good enough, or maybe I say something disrespectful about something. So I try to analyze if it's actually true, and if it's actually like the helpful criticism, and if it is, then I try to, get over my feelings and work for better on my content and on myself. Criticism is usually good. It kind of hurts, but it's usually good. Everything else, well, not really. So I set boundaries and analyze all these comments and messages and decide if I want to take it or if I don't. Next is very important, and it's being confident in what you're doing. Because if you're not confident, every single comment will hurt you, every single message will hurt you, every single word from people around you will hurt you, like from your relatives, your friends. If we're talking about offline hate, do your thing and believe that it is right, it is good that you're doing. Like, for example, this video I'm filming, some people might say that it's useless. Some people might say that it's just that I'm stupid. I know, like anything, literally, people can write anything. But I know that this video might help at least somebody, and I just wanted to film it, so I'm doing it. And if somebody will write the comment saying that this video is useless, I will know that for me it is not, and I wanted to film it, and I'm confident in filming it. So it's the same about every post, every video I make, but everything that I do in life. Like, I dropped out of university and I got so much hate about that, but I knew what I was doing and I knew that it was for good for me. So I was really, I was really confident about that, and I did what I did. I did my thing. I'm not saying that everybody should drop out, but in my case, it was for good. The same thing with starting a YouTube channel. I was not confident about starting a YouTube channel, because when you're starting something like that, you kind of feel worried that your friends or your relatives will see your videos and they will give their opinions, and you kind of know that their opinions might hurt you, especially if you're a sensitive person. Do what you want to do. You probably will not succeed, but you can try. Even these little phrases can hurt you. So the only person who knew I started the YouTube channel was my husband, because I was filming at home. I couldn't, I had to tell him. I only said that I started a YouTube channel to my friends and relatives when I got 10,000 subscribers, and it was my way of protecting my feelings, because I knew that many of them will not kind of get it or will not really support it. So for me, like, saving my time, working quietly on this YouTube channel, trying to make something out of it, and when I saw that it's actually working, there are some good results and people like my content, then I became confident enough to share with people who are now offline as well, with friends and relatives. So sometimes you need that time to build this confidence. Sometimes you need that time to be sure that this is what you want to do. If you know that their opinions and their comments may affect the way you go, may affect how you do things. Because I knew if I say right away to my friends and relatives that I'm doing YouTube and I have like 10 subscribers there, and they will not really see the point, and their comments will be upsetting to me. Even though I like this process, even though I like making these videos, I like what I'm doing, but I knew that their comments might affect me. So I hid my thing, my little YouTube channel, from everybody. And I was working on it till I became confident enough to say, that's what I'm doing, that's what I like to do. I don't care about your opinion. Setting boundaries, protecting yourself, protecting your feelings from people around you, knowing what can hurt you and when it can happen, and just, protecting yourself. And the last thing I wanted to share, the last thought, is that there is literally no growth in your life without hate. If you don't receive any hate, if everybody around likes you, then probably there is something wrong. Because when you are growing, when you are learning new things, when you're trying to figure out what you like and what you don't like, when you try something new, when you just grow the person, you will receive opinions about you from people around you, no matter what you do. If you're growing, some people might not like you, might not like what's happening with you. Some people might tell you that, oh, you changed. And you know, all of these little comments, they hurt, but that's just how life happens. And if you don't grow, well, you'll not receive hate. But is it really worth it? Just not receiving hate, not doing anything? I don't think so. Every time I receive bad comments, I think positively about them. I think, well, then probably I either reached a wider audience on my video, so which is good. Some people will like my videos, some people will subscribe, some people will not, but that means that more people saw my video, and that's good. It probably means that I'm doing something that is interesting to some people and is not interesting to others, but I'm doing something, so that's already good. And usually on every single hateful comments, there are like dozens of positive ones, dozens of people who like what you're doing, who like your content, or just in general who like you, and there will be like one or two bad comments among them. So it doesn't really matter if you know that you are growing, if you know that you are working on something you like, if you know that you are confident about it, and if you know that you can ignore this hate or set boundaries to not make it hurt you, then these comments don't really matter. I believe that they really don't worth paying attention to them. Like criticism is good, unsolicited advice is somewhere in the middle, and hate is just something that's worth ignoring, blocking, ignoring, and just not paying attention to. Because so many people don't start something they're interested in, something that they want to start, just because they're afraid of other people's opinions, whether it's their friends, relatives, or people online. We're afraid of being judged and being misunderstood, being hated, and that hurts. Like, I know what I'm talking about. As a very sensitive person, I know that it hurts, but it doesn't worth not trying, not doing something that you're interested in, just staying at home and doing nothing, you know, laying on the couch. You'll be hated for that too. So no matter what you do, like no matter what you do. And it's better to do something cool and be hated than nothing at all and still be hated, you know. I hope you liked this video today. I hope it could help some of you who are going through the period of, you know, working with your emotions and feelings about receiving other people's opinions. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.